Welcome back to Superbowl Sports Talk. I'm Josh. That's Bryce. That's Roy over there. 64 conference championships for this week. We don't have any football this coming week. I thought about pushing the Super Bowl preview to next week, but we start our baseball thing, so I was like, and we don't have baseball this week. So
we also have nothing to talk about.
Yeah, so I was like, let's just do it this week. So next week we can fast forward to baseball for a week. Scores from the games last week are as follows. Oops, that's Pro Bowl. Washington went to Philly, lost 55-23. Buffalo goes to KC, loses a close one, 32-29. So let's start with the first game of the day, the one that wasn't as close. Commanders, Eagles. Anybody want to go first and talk about what they saw?
I can.
Go ahead.
I think kind of what I said was going to happen happened. The Eagles just kind of did whatever they want with Saquon. I mean, the first quarter he had like 100 yards already and 2 touchdowns. He just kind of did what he wanted. Jalen Hurts kind of stepped up, made a lot of running plays when he needed to make them whenever the game started to get a little close there in the second and third quarter. And then, they were just a better team. I kind of saw, I said last week that Jaden Daniels, he was going to have some pressure on him this week, and him not being able to throw the first check down every single time, or not check down, first read every time, isn't going to work as well, and they're going to exploit that, and then he's going to have to make more plays. Those plays didn't come up as much. Their offense just couldn't keep up with the high power that Eagles' offense was putting up. So it's kind of what I expected. Maybe not that big of a blowout, but definitely what I expected the outcome to be.
Roy, you want to go?
No, I mean, Saquon, I mean, that was Washington's problem was the run. I mean, they couldn't stop the run, and that was going to be a problem. I thought it was going to be if they could stop the run, then they could probably score some. Because I really thought Washington had an advantage with their receivers, with the DBs in Philly. But I think Philly's defense, I mean, they haven't been great all year, but they came to play on Sunday. So I mean, they really they have improved a lot. Their corners did a lot better than what I thought was going to do. I thought they kept them in check. A couple of long passes kind of got them, but other than that, I thought that Philly defense really showed up. Now Jalen Hurts doesn't look great. So they're going to have to rely on Saquon Barkley. So he's going to have to. I don't know if he's still hurt or he had a concussion or whatever is wrong with him. He just got it. He's going to have to stick it up or pick it up if he wants to win the Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, I take a different approach a little bit on how this game went. I'll go to one of the points that you said, Roy. You said that Jalen Hurts again didn't play well. It's because he's not good. I mean, he's not just not playing well. He's just not good. That's as good as he gets. Outside of the 60-yard run on the very first offensive play for Philly, they held Barkley to 60-something yards, about 4 yards a carry, which is still good, but it's about average. I just thought Washington never got the negative play. They never pushed them back. It was 4, 5, first down. They really didn't get a stop all game. And Washington turned the ball over. Really, it wasn't too much of Jane Daniels. It was the fumbles everywhere. I mean, you do, what did they have? 3 turnovers? He threw a pick and 2 or 3 fumbles. They just got behind early in that regard. I thought Washington, every game of this postseason, moved the ball going no huddle, even though they really weren't going fast. They were going no huddle, sit at the line, run a play. Well, when you're down, it's not as easy to do that. You got to speed it up. And I also thought they didn't have any big plays outside of, did Scary Terry have the big?
Yeah, he had the big catch for a touchdown.
Outside of the Scary Terry catch, they had 0 explosive plays, which hurt them as well. I thought Philly was a better team overall. But, yeah, I mean, you have 4 turnovers in a playoff game. It's going to be hard to win. I mean, you look at the Lions, same thing. That's why they lost. They couldn't keep up because they kept turning it over. But I'm not really surprised. I kind of thought Philly would win. I just, with the momentum Washington had, they hadn't really shown any of that all postseason. Then they get to this game, and it was ugly from the tip. Also, if Jalen Hurts, even though I don't think he's very good, he does throw for 246. A.J. Brown has 96 yards, Goddard 85, Devontae Smith 45. If they get, 250 yards out of the pass game, they're going to be hard to beat. because
Yeah.
you know they're going to get the run game.
I don't think Jalen Hurts is bad. I just think he's just not. I mean, he's had moments where he can make a play. So I just don't. He just got some.
I think
something
Jalen
going
Hurts
on.
is really good at fitting the football in certain spots. You know, a go route to AJ Brown, he is really good at putting it on AJ Brown and all those receivers. But when you're talking middle of the field and kind of elusive and I just don't think he doesn't have the arm.
He holds the ball a little too long.
Yeah,
I mean, and that's a problem.
He does throw a good fade deep ball. I do give him that. He throws a good one because AJ Brown and him have a good connection on that. But still, besides the game, what a year from Washington. I hate Washington for the most part, but they haven't been good in my lifetime, so I don't really have a true hatred for them yet. But, I mean, you have the number 2 pick in the draft, new GM, new head coach, new everything, and you take it to the NFC title game. It's pretty impressive. So,
yeah, I wanted to – you said Saquon had like 60 yards. I think that was just the first half that he had. He had 118 yards.
No, I was saying minus the 60-yard run on the first play. Take that away. He only had about 65. Now, I know that they didn't play the entire game either. He kind of came out in the last.
Yeah, Gainwell played a ton.
So I'm not saying that, but I mean, you hold Saquon Barkley outside of that one run to 4 yards a carry, you would think you'd have a better shot at winning, but they just turned it over so much.
Yeah.
But
I actually thought Jalen Hurts played really good for what he's capable of. And I think that if he plays like that in the Super Bowl, that gives them a shot at winning. He didn't turn the ball over. He didn't make negative plays, and he got the job done when it needed to be done. I thought he did great in the run game, which I know Roy doesn't like whenever they run him a lot, but I thought he did great on that option. Whenever they weren't giving it to Saquon, he would run it for a first down. I thought he did that great all game, and that the defense couldn't really stop the run game whenever it was both of them, especially.
Well, he's always been good at that elusive running quarterback style. That's what he did in college until he got to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Alabama, he ran zone read all day long, so he's always been good at that.
I just don't. I mean, you got a quarterback who's hurt and got bad knee, concussion. I mean, and he's always been hurt. Yeah. Why would you keep running him? But I mean, you are trying to make Super Bowl, so it's a different story.
Yeah, I agree. That's why you look at Mahomes and Allen. Even though Allen runs a lot during the regular season, you're not really as worried about him taking a shot, in the playoffs versus week 4. So, but I agree. All right, let's kick it off to the other game. Bills Chiefs was the game of the year. I mean, we all really were hoping that this would be the game, and we got it. Close game down to the wire. Bryce, you want to go first again?
I can if you want.
I mean, anyone can go. I don't care who goes.
I think this is just a complete breakdown of the Bills organization. There's no way that they've had Josh Allen play at this level for this long and not get him the help that he needs to win a Super Bowl. He gets him all the way to the game every year. The guy, I read a stat. I don't know how true it is. He's like the number 1 of all time in touchdown to interception ratio in the playoffs. He's like the number 1 of all time, like of 6 different quarterback stats in the playoffs. And the guy's never even made it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just absurd. I thought Josh Allen played amazing outside of the first drive, and James Cook played amazing. Other than that, they didn't have one person I thought played decent at all.
Well, go ahead.
The biggest thing that really hurt the Bills, in my opinion, though, was their corner going down and that Elam guy coming in. That just screwed them. They went at him all game, and that just led Casey's offense to be able to do whatever they want.
And I completely agree with you that was a killer, and Casey attacked it. The guy they brought in is their first-round pick from 2 years ago. Like, it's not like it's like a 7th-rounder scrub. You got nothing. I'm not saying he's good because obviously he's not very good, but that's something that can't happen when you're paying a top-tier quarterback top-tier money. You can't miss on first-round picks like that on the back half. It's just not what you're supposed to do as an organization. I mean, it's not their fault per se, but you know what I mean.
No, the biggest problem that corner was bad, but they let Kareem Hunt run crazy. That front, other than the pass rush, they couldn't stop the run. If it wasn't for the turnover, a couple turnovers and do some bad things by Kansas City, some drops, I don't think they stopped them all game. Yeah. Their defense was absolutely awful. Josh Allen, even if you saw today that he was hurt second half. Couldn't get a grip on the football the whole second half because on that second touchdown or trying to do the tush push on the second time, he got his hand smashed, his throwing hand and elbow smashed. It was swollen the entire second half. Couldn't even grip the football. So he played tough. They got to get him weapons. I mean, they got Cook. I mean, James Cook is good.
They also statistically, I actually didn't know this until I watched the game and I actually looked it up after they said it. From left tackle to right tackle, statistically, number one offensive line in football.
That's because of Josh Allen. I
agree.
It's not like you got Amari Cooper, who should be good, but he's washed up. The thing is, they still had a chance. How does not Kincaid make that play at the end? On that little. Why nobody's around him?
No.
A good team, a team that's destined to be in the Super Bowl, makes that play, and we just couldn't do it.
Josh Allen did everything he could on that play to give themselves a chance. And
if that ball is caught, that's one of the greatest throws of the history of the sport. I'm not kidding. It was that good that he could instantly catch the ball, take 4 steps back, chuck it as far as he could, and put it right where it basically needed to be.
And
don't get me wrong, it was not perfectly off his chest. You can't help it. It's
but it hit. It hit his arm. It wasn't like it was like jumping low. It was hit his arms.
I know. I agree. No, the same. Every time these two teams play each other, it comes down to the fourth quarter, and the same thing happened that it usually does. When the Chiefs needed to get points, at bare minimum, they need 3 points. When Buffalo tied it, they went down the field. And they got a field goal. Hats off to Buffalo's defense because they hadn't really got a stop all game. They did hold them to a field goal. That offense has been explosive all year long against every team in the NFL. They had the roles were reversed this year. They had 2 minutes and 30 seconds to drive down the field, score a touchdown, and win the game. And their offense couldn't do it. I'm not blaming Josh Allen. He's if not the best, second or third. It's him, Pat, and Lamar. I would say I'm the clear 1, 2, 3. Put them in any order. One of the top 3 quarterbacks in football. It's not his fault at all. Yes, I get you probably can't run it a whole lot with James Cook when you're down 3 with like 2 something left. Somebody outside of Josh Allen has to make a play. He's had Stephon Diggs the last few years. Locker room guy, also, whatever. I get it. They have to help him. But at the end of the day, if Buffalo's defense could be a little bit better, maybe they stop, because that's the difference to me. KC's offense is good, but it's not outstanding. They squeak by wins. That defense is very underrated. But Buffalo had a chance to go in, and KC's coaching, which I thought would be the difference in the game, calls an unbelievable corner blitz, which nobody saw coming. You can't even see that almost. Josh Allen makes a perfect play, and his receivers drop. They just need – I don't know. I feel so bad for Josh Allen and a lot of the Bills players because, let's be real, they're probably the second best team in football the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, how this little sub thing to this was this last year. We talked about getting Josh Allen guys around him.
Mm-hmm.
So the Bills trade back, give the Chiefs the first round draft pick, who get Xavier Worthy,
who destroyed them.
Who Xavier Worthy had 6 receptions for 85 yards and 1 touchdown. So you trade back not once but twice to get Keon Coleman, who had 1 catch for 12 yards. So that's on the GM. Keon Coleman has potential. He's a big wide receiver, but you can't give that kind of speed to another team.
Yeah, especially.
And another thing I don't get is, and Keon Coleman does have potential. 4 years from now, he could be a true, really good receiver.
Yeah.
During his rookie year, was he going to do that? Yeah, probably not. That's fine. He's a big body guy. He's probably even better in the red zone. We've seen him go up and make a few basketball-type rebound catches. They don't have anything else other than tight ends, Dawson Knox and Kincaid.
Yeah.
Who are what? Red zone targets.
Well, then they had Hollins, who kind of showed up a little bit. That Mac Hollins. He made a great catch.
He had 2 great catches.
He had 2 of the bigger.
I've never even heard of that guy before that.
But are you really relying on Mac Hollins to beat the Kansas City Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl?
No.
I just don't get it. I just feel bad for the Bills. I really do. If Josh Allen really never gets through to the Super Bowl, he's going to have a hard time going into the Hall of Fame. I don't care if he's the second greatest quarterback of the history of the sport.
Yeah. You've got guys who never went to a Super Bowl. That had put up numbers. So this offseason, They've got to sit down and look at their revamp their team a little bit. I mean,
I think this is a golden spot for Keenan Allen to land. I think that would be a great fit for Josh
Keenan
Allen.
Allen said he wants to either go back to Chicago or LA, though. So
yeah,
I think he's a West Coast guy.
$2 million, I bet he would.
Yeah, I don't know. They got a. It's a pretty deep receiver class. They should definitely look at receiver.
Yeah.
But you got to give. I mean,
but that defense needs help.
Yeah, I mean the defense needs help. But with Kansas City, I mean, Kareem Hunt was done in the league. I mean, he was shit at the Browns.
Yeah.
And I don't know, all of a sudden he's got this re-energy there and just
play every snap.
Huh?
He's not playing every snap there because they have Pacheco, who if they need a yard, they're going to Pacheco. But
Pacheco didn't do crap this last game.
They can put Kareem Hunt in exactly the plays that he executes the best, which is probably like a zone type run instead of a downhill run, and it works. It's
the guy should be in prison. He shouldn't even be allowed to play
I agree. I mean, the Chiefs, I couldn't believe he went back to the Chiefs. They cut him the next day, so I don't know why he's just back, but whatever. Yeah. So let's jump right into the Super Bowl preview. I don't need to go over our picks last week. We each went 1-1. You guys had Bills. I had Chiefs. I had Commanders. You guys had Eagles. That puts the season standings final. Roy will finish first. Bryce will finish second. I will finish third. Roy, you're at 190 and 94. Bryce, you're 8 back, 182, 102. And I'm 3 back of Bryce, 179, 105. But let's talk the Super Bowl. Chiefs, Eagles, rematch of 2 years. Chiefs got the better of them in the Kelsey Bowl. It'll be the Kelsey Bowl this year. I'll go first on some of my previews. The Bills ran the ball once they started to run the ball pretty well on the Chiefs, especially that second half. They have 2 weeks, so I feel a little bit better about the Chiefs' chances to slow down the run a little bit. But still, it's a personnel issue. They're going to have to slow down Barkley. If Barkley runs wild, it's hard to see the Chiefs being able to just keep up the points. That's my first point that I look at. My other point on the opposite side, I don't know how well they're going to be able to throw the ball against Kansas City. McDuffie's a lockdown quarter. I know he's a little bit smaller, but he can still lock up A.J. Brown or if they move him around with Devontae Smith. So I want to see the Eagles pass game because I don't know how well they're going to do, along with the crazy blitzes that Spagnuolo does for the Chiefs, because he'll cause up some crazy ones. And I can see that pass game being ineffective and then it being a run-only offense. And then the only Super Bowl we've seen Patrick Mahomes lose was against the Bucs. They lost because their offensive line couldn't protect him. I'm curious to see how their offensive line holds up against the Eagles defense, who has a good pass rush as well. Those are my key points I'm looking at.
I agree. I'm looking for the pass rush, and how well Kansas City can run the ball against that Philly defense. Patrick Mahomes, when you can get him moving or get him to throw, just put him on pressure. That was the difference with Buffalo. They put pressure on him, but then they didn't stay in their lanes, and he ran for
first down
60 yards. Yeah. So I think Philly will have that scouted pretty well. I am interested. I really think the Kansas City's back end will have. You got Goddard, Brown, Smith. You got some good receivers back there, and I think I'd be interested to see how they handle all that. And it'd be interesting to see how. I hate to say that Travis Kelce may have a huge game. Because I don't know if Philly can guard him. That's just they don't have their back end is just not that great. They played great against against the Commanders, but I don't. Zach Ertz had how many catches in that game?
That's true. He did have a lot.
That's what I could see a big. That's what I'll see is if the tight end is going to be, if Travis Kelce's going to have a big Super Bowl, or if it's just going to be. It could be a high scoring game, or it could be a battle.
Another thing I'll add in is, and you always see this in the Super Bowl because you have 2 weeks to prepare. You're gonna see some trickery. Now, I'm not saying it's gonna be crazy trick plays, but you're going to see trickery on balls going ways you're not expecting, plays you haven't seen before. There's no one better in the league. Maybe Ben Johnson is up there, but he's so new. I won't put him into this category than Andy Reid. They do twirls and shit before they snap the ball. So give Andy Reid 2 weeks to prepare some trick plays in the red zone and stuff. Getting Travis Kelce open, even though they know that's who they're looking for. It's going to be hard for the Eagles to slow him down, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, I really think the biggest thing in this matchup is going to be the receiver DB matchups, because I think that the Chiefs have great DBs and they can slow down the run and force them to throw. It'll come down to A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith getting open. If they're winning that battle, I think that the Eagles are going to probably be in the lead offensively. However, on the other side, I don't think that Kansas City has the best receivers in the world, but they do have Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. But if somebody like DeAndre Hopkins or Juju Smith-Schuster or Hollywood Brown, one of those guys, Xavier Worthy, one of those guys starts to go off, then it's going to be the exact opposite. I think the Chiefs, that's how their method to victory is through their receivers. I think whoever is winning the passing game is going to win. I mean, up front, they both are going to be able to slow down run a little bit at least.
I mean, I think it's if Philly throws the ball all over KC, which I don't think they're going to throw it all over him, just because I don't think they're going to throw that much. But if they can do what they want in the pass game, I don't think it's very hard for the Eagles to walk out of there with a win. But because if they can, they're going to run the ball. It's going to be effective. They're going to be able to run the ball at least decently. They're not just going to get stuffed. I would be shocked. But I also think that they could contain them, not to have, $170 either. So
yeah, Kansas City lets Saquon Barkley run like James Cook did on Sunday. Yeah. James Cook is good, but he's not physical like Saquon. So Saquon can take a couple hits and run it 70 yards for a touchdown. It's going to be a long day for Kansas City, because then they're going to have to load up the box. Yeah. And then you're going to have A.J. Brown one-on-one against the people, and I think that's where you get in trouble.
And another thing that will go into Philly's favor is, goddamn, if it's 3rd and 1, just put a first down on the board, because you are not stopping that tush push. Would not be surprised if you see, which they've done it before, so this isn't totally trickery. If they do a trick play out of the tush push, you're talking 4th and 1 on the 20-yard line going in. And instead of just doing it, or maybe 3rd and 1, because then they have an extra down if they don't get it. 3rd and 1 on the 20, they do a little trickery and throw it over, something like that. Super Bowl, 2 weeks to prepare. But because, KC made some money against the Bills getting some 4th down stops or 3rd down stops and get off the field. If it's 3rd and 4th and 1 against the Eagles, you're not getting off the field. So, But yeah, so let's take our picks. I'll go first on this one. I think this game's close. Super Bowls are usually close or closer for the most part. I won't bet against Mahomes and Andy Reid. Not until I see them lose. I will take the Chiefs again this year.
I am going to take the Eagles. I just can't pick the Chiefs, but I do think the Eagles have a better team all around. I don't know if you guys ever seen the movie Batman, but I'm kind of hoping Bane shows up to the stadium and there just is no game, because I really don't want to watch this shit show.
What, takes the bottom of the field out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I felt last week for the national championship game. I don't give a shit who wins this game. I'm just going to pick the Chiefs just because my wife, daughter, and son love the Chiefs. That's the only reason.
Yeah. It didn't matter who was coming out of the AFC. Once the Lions lost, I was AFC. I don't care. I did not want the Eagles to win the Super Bowl one of my most hated teams in football.
How would you like to be the Giants if they win, knowing that Saquon goes over there and wins the Super Bowl? I'm sure you've all seen that video of the GM having that conversation.
On the Eagles. I hope he's a sick man.
Oh, he's got to be. Come on.
I'm not going to get into depth into it, because the Giants are a terrible organization, or at least have been for the last 15 years. How do you not have any good players and let the only good player leave? And I get it if you're paying a wide receiver $39 million and you just can't stomach it. Okay, I at least can see it. It's a running back. You don't have anybody else. You're going to pay him $12 million and you're afraid? Well, even if he's not worth $12 million. I don't get it.
Well, the funny thing is, they did that last year, and then they keep them this year. I have a terrible year this year, and you still keep the GM and coach.
I'm fine with them keeping Brian Daboll. That bald-headed idiot can stay there for as long as he wants. I don't think I have it. Oh, Bryce, you want to talk about some stuff?
We've kind of gotten
While you go that, I got to piss. Keep talking.
Okay.
I just got to pee for 5 seconds.
We've kind of gotten through most of the major teams that were hiring a coach now, I think. I'll just go off and list the 7 I have listed. Is the Bears obviously hired Ben Johnson, Patriots Mike Vrabel. Those were kind of the 2 earlier ones. Jets hire Aaron Glenn. Raiders hire Pete Carroll. Cowboys hire Brian Schottenheimer.
Yep.
The Saints said that they have their guy, but they haven't released who it is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just listed as unknown right now. But they have hired a coach. And then the Jaguars hire Liam Cohen. I wanted to hear any thoughts that you guys might have on those newer selections. I know we've already talked about the first two a lot.
Well, I mean, I kind of want to hear a little bit of what Josh says about Brian Schottenheimer.
That was one of the main reasons I put this on the screen.
I mean, his dad was a great coach. I mean, for years. So he's got a history of the name. I mean, and one of the other interesting one is Pete Carroll. I mean, that kind of surprised me a little bit. I figure he might go back to college, but the Raiders must see something. I mean, he did decent in the NFL, but he was at the time. A lot of time he was in a weak division and got in with when they weren't very good and kept getting in the playoffs. I mean, he took 2 back-to-back Super Bowls, but that's interesting. Bears should be happy with Ben Johnson. I don't know. You're getting your Dennis Allen as your defensive coordinator. I mean, that's interesting.
I like that a lot, actually. He wasn't a good head coach, but he was a good defensive coordinator.
It'll be interesting to see how all that goes. But I mean,
and we got
a lot of young guys.
The Broncos too. Is like 28. So, Josh,
what did you guys go over? All of them, or did you go over certain ones?
I just listed them all.
All right, I'll give you I'll do a quick rundown of all the ones I think. I'll start with the Patriots. They went first. Mike Vrabel. I personally don't love it. It's a good fit. I understand. I like Mike Vrabel. Think he's a really good coach. I don't like it from the Drake May perspective. I just, if he's got, I don't know who their offense coordinator is. Oh, it's McDaniels.
No,
Josh McDaniels.
They just brought in a guy from but they brought in a quarterback coach from Ohio State.
Oh, I did see that. Still, I don't know. I guess maybe getting Josh McDaniels because he's never getting a head coaching job again ever. So maybe in that regard, it's not as bad. I didn't think about that until just now. Bears, which is the next one on here, or first one, absolutely home run. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better head coach. Now, will it work? We'll see. We've seen home run coaches not work out before. We've seen home run coaches like Sean McVay work to perfection. So we'll just see how it goes. But absolutely perfect that they got an offensive coach. That was the number one thing. And you got the number one option. So good for them. Aaron Glenn to the Jets. I don't hate it. I don't know. Aaron Glenn coached really well over the year. Seems like a defensive coach that has never had a head coaching job before. We've seen
it's a Jets.
fail.
It's a typical Jets
we've
hire.
Seen that route fail very common. Not saying this will fail, but we'll see. Then supervisors call me. That's not going to happen right now. Pete Carroll, Raiders. I was kind of talking to Bryce right when we got here. I hate it. Not that I hate Pete Carroll. Think he's a good coach. I think he's better than what the Raiders have had. I just don't like you just bring Tom Brady in. You have this new youth movement just getting to Vegas, and you bring in a fucking 80-year-old coach. I just don't like it. It's just not exciting to me. But not saying it's the worst hire team-wise in the world. I'll skip the Cowboys. Saints are unknown. Sounds like Mike McCarthy is out on the Saints. Like it just won't happen. So sounds like the Saints don't even know who they're going to get.
They did hire somebody
as their head coach.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. What I read is that they hired somebody. They just haven't revealed who it is yet.
Oh well, I don't know who it is. I haven't read that, but okay. That doesn't matter. I don't know who it is, so I'm going to say with nobody. Jaguars, Liam Cohen, crazy situation. Don't know if you guys saw the entire thing that went down with them. Roy, did you hear about all of it?
For Jags?
He interviewed, hated the GM, Trent Baalke, backed out, said, I'm not coming. I don't want to. He already went for a second interview, said, I'm good. Jaguars owner fires the general manager, Baalke. Liam Cohen says, sorry, I'm signing an extension with the Bucs. He flies Cohen out secretly the day that he's supposed to sign his extension, signs a deal with Jacksonville because he gets to pick the GM. Cohen does. He gets to pick the general manager.
Really?
Weird situation. But I actually really like the hire. They have Trevor Lawrence, who had a really good year, but then had a really bad year after the injury. They need an offensive mind guy, and he kind of fixed Baker Mayfield in that offense. Looked really good down the stretch. So I do like the hire. He's got his work cut out for him because outside of a few players, they're terrible. But
Yeah.
I do like the offensive minded to help Trevor Lawrence because he is their guy. And then I'll get to the Cowboys. Brian Schottenheimer, I was shocked by it. He was a no-name going through until like 2 days before he signed. I hate it in the regard that I just don't think he's going to be very good. The one thing I do like about it is I don't think Jerry Jones will be afraid to fire him in a year if someone else, like use an example, Deion Sanders, anybody with a big name, big price tag comes available. I don't think he'll be afraid to move on from Brian Schottenheimer. So that regard, I'm fine. They're not locking him in, even though it doesn't matter what a coach signs for. You can fire him whenever you want. So I'm cool with that regard. I have learned a little bit about what he wants to run offensively. Looks like a lot more motion and not Sean McVay, but like Sean McVay, a lot of motions, a lot of things like that. And the players really like Schottenheimer. So if the players are happy, cool. I don't care. I don't love the hire, but
And they got Coach Matt Eberflus.
Matt Eberflus. I put in the group chat, did not know that he was a Cowboys coordinator. I don't really care about a defense coordinator. I mean, I hated the Dan Quinn hire when we got him from Atlanta after he got fired, and he was spectacular for the Cowboys. So maybe Eberflus will turn into Jesus Christ, but probably not. But we have an average defense, so we'll see. But it's one of those where, like, if it works, I'll be pumped. If it doesn't work, okay, it didn't work. I think he's gone. So I don't take a whole lot of stock into it in that regard. So, but they also couldn't have hired Vrabel. He was gone. Ben Johnson signed like a day after the Cowboys did it. They didn't get to interview him. Glenn had already picked his spot, so they didn't have that many options. It wasn't like they had just a cream of the crop options. So that's my take.
Yeah, I just don't see how you let Mike McCarthy go and then hire somebody within that's a no name like that. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know if
he's
you
in the
saw
organization, so he's a no name to us and all that, but for them it's not. So
I don't know. Did you see Jerry talking about his enjoyment he gets out of football?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good.
I did. Yeah, Jerry's always got some good quotes in there.
Yeah.
All right. We could skip college basketball this week. We don't have any MLB stuff. Next week, we will not be talking about Super Bowl. We just did. We will be doing the NL East. We will do our breakdown, all the teams, all the additions, all those things. So that just takes us miscellaneous. You guys good with that?
Yep.
Okay, I have a game for you guys this week. And you'll have 5 minutes. This one is timed, and I can't change the time. Oh, wait. Yeah, close the one. Where in the...
You locked us.
I know. Wait, I locked you guys?
You locked me. I can't.
How's that even possible? Did I lock you, Bryce?
No, I'm fine. I think you're just frozen.
I don't even see Roy anymore.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can't see you.
Let me yeah, is something wrong with this camera or something?
With whose camera?
Yours, Roy.
We can't even see you.
I mean, I didn't do anything. When you moved it, I got frozen.
Well, it's whatever. We can hear you. Can you see the screen, Roy?
Yeah.
Do I need to zoom it in a little bit?
Oh, Josh, it's because you have it's set to just 2 people on the left side. I think.
No? Because now Roy's at the bottom.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah,
I took you guys off so we can just listen. You guys can just hear. All right. Can you guys see a little bit better now?
Yeah.
Okay. So this quiz is passing touchdowns in a divisional playoff football game. Okay. Or, excuse me, conference championship, because we just had the conference championship. But I will give you an example. Some of these seems like you could look at the number one and it's very obvious who it is. But players who have played on multiple teams, if they didn't throw a touchdown in the conference championship for the other team, it doesn't pop up. Okay? So I'll give you one for free because you probably would guess it eventually. This Green Bay right here is Aaron Rodgers. Yes, he's played for the Jets. Hasn't thrown a touchdown in the conference championship.
Well, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So all time, and this list shocked me when I couldn't believe that this was true. In the history of the National Football League, this is the most touchdowns thrown in conference championship history ever. All right. Your time starts.
Tom Brady. Patrick Mahomes.
Joe Montana.
Yeah.
John
Denver,
Elway.
John Elway. Brett
Favre.
Favre. Peyton Manning.
Aaron Rodgers.
Troy Aikman.
Vinny
Big Ben.
Testaverde.
Sorry.
Vinny Testaverde.
Is not on there.
Not on there?
Nope.
Drew Brees. Warren Moon.
I don't.
Dan Marino.
I would say Marino was going to
I
be
don't
my
think he's on
guess.
there.
Marino is.
Yeah.
Tony Romo.
Nope.
No. Who's it? Whoa.
Josh Allen.
Nope.
How about then Jim Kelly? Steve Young. Terry Bradshaw. Boomer Esiason.
Not on there.
Really? McNabb. Donovan McNabb.
Flacco. Eli Manning.
Not on there.
No?
Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan.
That Green Bay is going to be a million years old. No way I'm getting that.
Don Mikowski.
Not on there.
Bart Starr has gone for Green Bay. How about the Jets? Would that be Sanchez?
Mark Sanchez.
Oh, boy.
Rich Gannon.
Not on there.
Another Dallas one?
Yeah, Cleveland, Dallas, Miami one. I'm just
that one I don't really.
You will not get that one.
I'm
Don't even
thinking-
sit on it.
Bernie Kosar.
Nope. You could get the other three, but you definitely will not get the
Dak
Cleveland
Brett. No,
Browns.
Dak.
I'm trying to think of who the Dallas.
Roger Staubach.
Yeah, I was gonna say you should get the Cowboy one.
Mm.
Giants.
Oakland.
Giants. Mark Brunell.
Nope.
I don't know if I'll get it.
Can you give me a hint on the Cleveland, Dallas, Miami one, like the era?
Not a fucking clue.
No.
It's by some old
I
guy.
have never heard of this guy in
Leather
my life.
helmets, probably.
No, it would be.
I'd say the next easiest one is the Oakland one.
Yeah.
It's not easy, but it's definitely the easiest of the next two.
Can't think of any notable quarterbacks out of
You guys give up?
Yeah.
Bryce?
Yeah.
Ken Stabler. Kerry Collins. Gosh dang it. I said Bernie Kosar.
Oh, is that?
He did, yeah.
You did? Oh, my bad.
You were like, no.
I've never heard of the guy.
And Kerry Collins, I should have got that one. I didn't
All
even
right,
think
I'll
of.
do that one then.
But Ken Stabler, I've heard of him. So yeah, I've heard all three of them.
When I did this, I did not get this guy, but I did get Ken Stabler. I also missed Mark Sanchez. I got all the ones that you guys got. So, good job. You guys did a little bit better than I thought, honestly. Nice.
I've got my game we can do real quick. There is 7 answers, so I'll give you guys 2 X's. There's 7 quarterbacks who have had 4,000 passing yards on multiple different teams.
In a season?
Yes.
Okay.
Multiple teams.
At
Brett
least
Favre.
2. Brett Favre is one of them. Minnesota and Green Bay.
Tom Brady?
Tom Brady did not throw for 4,000.
Really?
Yeah. That's who I guessed too and didn't get it.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers threw for 4,000.
Roy's like gone, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said finish without him. All right. I'll give you an extra X since it's just you. I thought you would ramble off a few of these real quick, but
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning is on there.
How many are there?
7.
7 total?
Yeah.
And I've gotten Favre and Manning.
You have 1 strike with Tom Brady.
That's crazy. I don't know if Joe Flacco threw. I don't think he's thrown for 4,000 since he left Baltimore. Who switched teams? I don't think Kirk Cousins did. I'm trying to think of modern, and I'm going to slowly work my way. I don't think Matt Ryan did. I don't think Russell Wilson did in Denver because he's horrible.
There's 1 player I would have never guessed on here, but the other 3 you probably should get. There's 3 of the 4 you should probably get, or of the 5. There's 2 that I don't know if you get. That I hint at least.
What about Drew Brees?
No.
Damn, I thought he was good in San Diego.
No, he got hurt right whenever he got in.
Oh, I thought he played like a few years and then got hurt.
No, he was benched for a few years and then got hurt right whenever he came in.
Damn. Okay.
I'll give you a hint on one of them since you have a strike. Or 2 strikes now. One of them is still playing.
I don't think it's Aaron. There's no way Aaron Rodgers threw 4,000 yards this year. There's no chance. I don't think it's Kirk Cousins. He got benched and he wasn't good there late. I don't think it's Sam Darnold. I don't think he ever got to 4,000 with the Jets.
I don't even think
Baker is a possibility. I don't think Jameis has done it since he left Tampa. Trying to think is there anybody else that's switched teams that is still playing? Maybe it can't be Joe Flacco. No way.
This guy's a starter.
I know.
He starts in the NFL right now.
I mean, who am I missing? Jets, Bills, Dolphins, Commanders, Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, Steelers. No, there's no way it's Russell Wilson. Steelers, Ravens, Bengals. Let's go out west. Oh, Matthew Stafford.
No.
No way Matthew Stafford hadn't thrown 4,000 with the Rams. I don't know.
The guy that's still playing he was in the playoffs. You haven't mentioned him yet or his team.
In the playoffs. Rams, Eagles, Commanders. Oh, is it Jared Goff?
It is Jared Goff.
That's if Jared Goff's done it and Matthew Stafford hasn't, that's fucking unbelievable. So
one of the guys I don't think you would get, he has ties to one of your strikes. He played with him.
Drew Bledsoe.
Yep.
Wow. I would never guess that, but
one of these, two of these guys I thought you would get. I think that they're very similar players, but one of them was an XFL player. That's crazy. You don't know who that is right away off that hint.
a XFL quarterback that played in the NFL. It's not AJ McCarron.
No, the most famous one there is.
I don't know.
Kurt Warner.
What did you say?
Kurt Warner.
Did you say he played in the XFL?
Yes, he did in the 2000s.
Oh, that's the fucking WWE football league.
Yeah, it was the XFL.
I
The
did
Rock
not-
bought it. It's still the same league.
I did not know he ever played for the.
Yeah, he was like huge. He was like the only success story out of Arena Football League ever.
You do know that he played arena football, not.
For the XFL.
I don't know about that because he played in Canada in the Arena League.
And then I'm pretty sure he played for the XFL.
Couldn't have been. XFL started in 2001. Kurt Warner was already in the NFL by then. I say he played arena football, but he didn't play in the XFL.
I could have swore it was the XFL that he played for. Oh well.
That's okay.
There's two more. One of them played for the Oilers.
Moon.
Yep.
Yeah, I've never pulled. I couldn't have told you where he played other than there.
Yeah, I don't even know where his other team would have been. Then the last one, he played for the Bengals. I don't know what other hint to give
Carson
you.
Palmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are names I'm not pulling. Just they're a little past. Even though I probably know that, I'm not pulling those names. I probably could have got Kurt Warner. I actually did know that he did that, but I wasn't going back that far. All right, well, that's all I got. You got anything?
Nope, that is it.
All right, we'll see you next week. Like, sub, comment. See ya. Oh, wrong button.